So I went to McDonald's and I just was totally dumbfounded with what happened to me, and it really, really left me surprised. And I'm going to talk about it here for the first time ever. Okay, so what had happened was, let me tell you exactly what happened. So this evening, I was kind of, hanging out at home, and I was like really hungry. And here it's about actually 9 o'clock at night. But you know how you get like those evening munchies and you just kind of want to eat something. You don't really want to cook anything or, you know. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go to McDonald's. I know that it's not the healthiest, but I just didn't feel like negotiating with making something to eat, you know. So then I get up, I get dressed, and I get in my car, and I drive over to the McDonald's. And when I get to the McDonald's, I'm like, okay, great. There's no cars. I mean, there was one car, but that car was moving as I was pulling up. So I get there, and as soon as I get at the drive-through menu ordering box, there's a gentleman, and I could tell by the way he kind of like was talking to me, he sounded really exasperated. Like he was like, "Okay, give me 1 second, hold on," and I was like, "Okay." And always when I go to like fast food places and I already hear that, I always try my best to be as patient, as calm as possible. And so as you know, he's like, "Give me 1 second, I'll be right back." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." And so he comes back, he's like, "Hey man, just to let you know, our soda machine is down, our truck hasn't came in, like a whole bunch of stuff, right?" And I was like, "Okay, cool, then I just want a $5 box," right? Mind you, for those of you guys that go to McDonald's a lot, or most of us really, no judgment, no heat, no judgment. I was like, "Okay," he's like, "Okay, man." I was like, "I just want the $5 box." He's like, "Okay, man, go to the other side." He didn't ask me what the sauce was. He didn't ask me which one I wanted because there's like a few different options. And I was like, "Well, okay." When I pull up further, I see there's like a line of like at least 7 cars. So I'm like, "Oh, okay." My initial hunch was correct. He's probably really slammed, and he probably doesn't even have that much help. And so I sit in the line for about 15 minutes, and I just kind of started reflecting about, how I'm not even sure what I was reflecting about, but I was just kind of observing the situation. And I was like, you know what? This is an opportunity. I wasn't upset because I really had nowhere to go and I wasn't in a rush either. But what I realized, I was like, this is such a great opportunity for me to show kindness. And because usually when people wait long in a drive through, they're usually really upset. So anyway, so I sat there for about 15 minutes. I finally get to my portion of picking up my order. And I see this gentleman, he had a green shirt on, and I could just see him running, trying to do his best, trying to get orders out. And what I realized as I was watching him, there was almost like a cheerfulness about him. It was almost like he didn't let the water of his circumstances get into his boat. More than likely, the soda machine was down. More than likely, they didn't get the shipment of food in. More than likely, 5 people called out, right? But he was still in there just bang, 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 knocking out orders. And, I just think about how, I always have to relate it to something, right? But as I observed him, I was like, wow, he is not letting his circumstances affect him. He's still plowing through. He's still trying to do the best he can. And so when he gave me my order, it was not the sandwich I wanted. It was not the drink I wanted. And it was not even the sauce I wanted for my nuggets. But there was a truthfulness about him. I said, all right. When he gave me my order, I said, all right, man, thank you. He said, all right. He said, no problem, man. You have a great night. But it was something about the way he said it. It was like, wow, he didn't let his situation affect him, right? Because most people in that situation would have had an attitude or would have been like, okay, bye, if they would have said bye at all. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave him a good review. Not because my order was right, because it was not right at all. But because of the example that he showed. And, it taught me that you can have circumstances, but your circumstances don't have to have you. You can be in the midst of a situation, but the situation doesn't have to have you. And so, in all of that, who was more stressed, me or him? Him. But in the midst of all of that, he decided to show kindness. And I think that's what we need more of. Kindness to others and kindness to ourselves. And so, I want to say this. I think life is always talking to us. But I wonder if we are paying attention. I know I'm guilty of sometimes not really paying attention, but just a simple evening burger munchy run gave me a tremendous life lesson. And so I want to encourage you guys today. I don't know what your circumstances is. I don't know what you're going through. And please don't leave it in the comments. I don't need to know. I do not need to know. But I want you to take whatever you got from this video and just think about it. A lot of us, and I'm going to put myself in there, we are in this restaurant called life, and the soda machine broke, the 5 people called out, the people you were counting on, things are not going as planned. But we have the ability to make the decision to keep moving forward and to not let bitterness overtake us. Is it easier some days? Yes. Is it harder some days? Yes. But we have to keep moving forward. And so I would just want to encourage you guys. I hope you guys have a great day or whatever, morning, evening, whenever you watch this. But I think it's the truth. And so I'm going to leave him a good review. Let me see. I'm going to take the survey. And I'm going to pass his kindness back to him. And so I hope you guys have a great day. See you later. And I hope my head wasn't chopped off by this video. Bye. Let me know what you guys thought about this in the comments. I read every single comment you guys write. Love you guys. See you later.